Hi guys, my name is Bobby. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing my July TBR. Now, as I've said in previous videos, July is a very busy month for me. At the very start of July, we're going on vacation, which I've mentioned before. We are driving to Disneyland, so we leave on July 5th and come back July the 11th. I'm on vacation through the 13th, but I'd like to have 2 days at home to recover before I go back to work. So we'll be traveling during that time. I'm going to pre-film a couple of one video to go up while we're on vacation, because I usually post on Thursdays or Fridays, so I'm going to set that ahead of time to post while we're traveling so I don't feel rushed or like I'm behind or whatever. And today's the TBR. Next week will be my June wrap up, and then yes, and then I'll have one going up after that. I don't know, I'll figure it the fuck out. Whatever. But for July, I am participating in the book Junkie trials, which I'm super excited about. You have all probably already seen my announcement video or my TBR for that. I'm going to continue with that theme for July. I'm not going to pick for my TBR jar. I'm not going to read Richard Lehman. This month, I'm going to just do the book Junkie trials prompts, because there are 17. I misspoke. Somebody pointed out to me. Thank you. I'm apparently really bad at math. I said there was 13. There's 17. 4 teams times 4 is 16, plus 1, the group book, is 17. So I guess there is 13 extra prompts that I can do outside, or 12 extra prompts that I can do outside of my 5. The 4 for a mage, and then the group book, which I will do. And then these books are what I'm going to do after, or what I'm going to choose from after, because every book that I read after, I still get points for my team, as long as my original path has been done. So I'm just going to do that. I figure it's easier. I've already got books picked for all the prompts. I'm not going to read the big, huge description for each prompt, just like what the name of the prompt is and what the task is and what the book that I chose for that prompt. Just to make it easier on me and time, because my videos are already super long as it is, and, you know, let's just get on with it. So I'm going to briefly go over the books that I'm reading for the mage prompts, because, you know, that's what I'm starting with and what I will read first. So the first prompt is Orc Grove, gory, gruesome, or gritty book, and I'm reading Kin by Keelan Patrick Burke, excuse me. So this book is a horror story. Take Texas Chainsaw Massacre and The Hills Have Eyes. From what I heard, extremely gory, extremely full of incest, gross, nasty horror, which I'm so in the mood for. Like, I'm so ready for that. Summertime for me is historical fiction. Rereading the Sookie Stackhouse series, which I'm planning on doing. I'm hoping to start in July. I need to get them back from my mom. She borrowed the box set. And historical fiction and nasty horror. That's like my summer vibes for some reason. I really gravitate towards historical fiction and cheesy, gross horror. So, this is the first one. And then second is Pirate Cove, partly set on the sea. And I'm going to be reading Into the Drowning Deep by Myra Grant, aka Shauna McGuire. That I have on my my Kindle app, so I will read that. I might, since I get to start 3 days early as a mage, I'm going to try to bust through Kin before we leave, because then when we leave and we're driving, I can read Kin on my, or read Into the Drowning Deep on my phone for the drive, because it's a 22-hour drive one way. So I'll have plenty of reading time forward and back. So hopefully I can, if I take a couple of these books, I can bang some of them out just in the drive. So we'll see. And then prompt number 3 for a mage is Glimmer, a beautiful book or a colorful book. And I'm going to read Girls of Paper and Fire by Natasha Yun. I've had this sitting in my TBR for months now. The sequel comes out at the end of this year. This is an Asian-inspired fantasy. I don't think it's a retelling of anything, if I can remember right. But it's really graphic when it comes to like the sexual violence, like rape and stuff like that. And it's like in a world where demons are in control, and each year the Demon King takes a certain amount of concubines, paper girls, and our main character is chosen as one, as like an extra one, because she has these really beautiful eyes. I know it has a lesbian romance in here, a female-female romance. It's supposed to be really good and really well done, so I'm excited to get to this one if I can get through the first 2, because, you know, we know Bobby's really good at staying on TBRs. Okay, so next prompt is Draconic Isle, a book with dragons, and I'm reading His Majesty's Dragon by Naomi Novik. She is the author of Spinning Silver and Uprooted. which are popular. Well, Uprooted is mixed on booktubes. Spinning Silver seems to be more popular. This is book 1 of a trilogy, I believe. The dragon is main character of the book, kind of like a dog or a cat is what Sam said. Like, he talks and is really involved, so I'm really excited to get to this one because I really kind of was into the dragon mood after reading Prior of the Orange Tree, so I'm excited to get into this one. And then the last prompt for Mage, which is for everybody, is the Bookie Grill, which is the group book, and that is Stardust by Neil Gaiman. I'm also using this for my weakness, and a weakness for the Mage is read something outside your comfort zone. Stardust is outside my comfort zone. I struggle a little bit with Neil Gaiman's writing, and I guess this is considered adult. I thought it was YA. Somebody said no, it's adult. It is really tiny. The font is really big, and it's what, under 200 pages? Yeah. This thing is tiny. Yeah. Oh, no, it's not under 248. So it's under 250. But it's a really lovey-dovey love story searching for a magical object adventure. Really not my thing. Really not looking forward to this. I'm hoping since it's so small I can go through it and get some enjoyment out of it. But this one is not what I'm looking forward to, so that's why it fits the weakness for Mage. It is definitely outside my comfort zone. Okay, so as for the rest of the month, I just have a list of all the prompts, and I'm just going to jump around. Whatever I feel like reading, I'm going to read. Like, and I have so many options. There's plenty to choose from. And they're all books I want to read, so it shouldn't be an issue. But knowing me, like, it'll be an issue at some point. But here we go. So the extra prompts, the first one is Elvengard. Read a book with political or war or military. So political themes or war or military. I have a couple I could use for this, but I'm going to try to get to Dread Nation by Justina Ireland. This has been on like 4 TBRs and I still haven't read the fucking thing. Like, I need to get to it. And I've heard nothing but good things about it. So this will be for that. Or it's an option. Number 2 is Hollow Isle, an atmospheric or horror book. So I'm going for horror. So Brother by Anya Alborn. This, I've never read Anya Alborn. I've had a couple of hers or checked them out through Kindle, like Kindle Unlimited. She's got a lot on Kindle Unlimited. This one is supposed to be like her best and the most intense and the most like graphic and just ick, apparently. But I've heard nothing but good things about it from people who love horror. So I think I've been scared to get to this one because I'm afraid it's going to not live up to the hype. But this is an option. Number 3 is Empty Barrel, an indulgent read. So for that, I'm going to hopefully read Dead Until Dark by Charlaine Harris. Again, I haven't gotten the books from my mom yet. I'm hopefully going to get them on the 4th of July when we go see her before we leave for California. I've inserted a picture. I'm probably already done it. Editing me is probably like, shut the fuck up, dumbass. But yeah, I'm going to hopefully start that. I love reading the Sookie Stackhouse series. I've read it 3 times. All the way through. I still haven't read the last book and I refuse to because I know how it ends and it pisses me the fuck off, so I'm going to pretend that book doesn't exist. But yeah, I've read all of them. They are a trashy, fun, paranormal romance-ish. It's paranormal romance, but it's trashy, it's fun, it's no work of literature, but I love reading them. And in the summertime, I just like it because it's hot, it's humid, it's like, you know, light later, and with it being set in Louisiana, it's I don't know, it's perfect atmosphere to read it, and I absolutely love it, so I can't wait to get those back so I can start my reread of those. Knowing me, I'll reread at least through book 4, maybe book 5 or 6, and then I'll stop, because that's my brand, that's keeping on brand. But I'm excited to get those back, and I'm super excited that Becca over at Back in the Books is reading them. She's read the first 2, and she's starting to enjoy them. She didn't like the first one that much, but she did enjoy the second one, and I'm excited because I'm like that somebody else is reading them for the first time. And like, she even agrees. They're trashy, but sometimes it's fun to dip into the trash. Okay? Number 4 is Giant Squid, an intimidating read. And that's perfect because then I can tie this one in, which if I start this one, I'm not going to be able to finish it because I'm not a miracle worker. But that's going to be The Pillars of the Earth by Ken Follett. Vicky over at Chapter 32 is hosting a read-along of this book starting in July. We probably won't finish it in July because if we're staying on brand. Some people probably will who are joining us. But yeah, I doubt I will unless we really buckle down. And I am so busy, I just know I won't. But I would like to get it started at least. This is something that I've wanted to read for a long time. I've heard nothing about good things about it, but the book takes place in like the teens of like over 1,000 years, almost 1,000 years ago. Let's see, where was one of those page breaks? Part 2, 1136 to 1137. So like in the 1100s is when this takes place. And it's all about the building of a cathedral. So it's very medieval. I love medieval times. So I'm excited to read this. I just never would have read it on my own. It's one of those big chunkers where I find it so intimidating that having Vicky do a buddy read, like a big, huge buddy read like that, it's a good reason for me to pick it up. Though if I do, which I know I will because of the buddy read, I definitely won't finish it. So this one will definitely get picked up at some point. Number 5 is Forgotten Forest. Next book in a series, and I will pick up definitely Bloody Rose by Nicholas Eames. Cody over at Cody's Book Corner sent me this. She went on my wish list and obviously it was there, and so she got it, little shit. I thought this was going to be like my birthday present since my birthday is July 10th, and no, in the note which I have right there, in the note she said, "This is just a start, you'll be getting more for your birthday." Little bitch. So she will be sending me more. I just sent her 3 books a couple weeks ago because she got back from her holiday, and I knew she'd probably be a little down because she suffers from anxiety and depression like I do. And so I figured that she would need to pick me up. And she sent me a message and she said she cried. So, in a good way. So she went ahead and this is like her thank you. And I read Kings of the Wild in June. You'll see that in my June wrap up. I absolutely fucking loved it. This is the sequel. I'm excited to get into it. I know this is more of a companion. It follows one character that you see a little bit at the end of Kings of the Wild and another group. And I guess a couple people make appearances. But it's more about this other group or this other section. But it still takes place in the world. And I'm super excited to get to this. Thanks again, Cody, for sending me Bloody Rose. I will link her channel in the description below. Though you guys probably already all subscribed to her because I know a lot of you came because of her. So thank you very much for that. But yeah. Little shit sent me this, and apparently there's more coming for my birthday. I should have never posted my Amazon wish list. Number 6 is Weeping Falls, a tearjerker. Well, I don't cry in books. I've said that multiple times, but I'm going to put for this one Magic Hour by Kristen Hanna. This was on a TBR not too long ago. I didn't pick it up. But this is about, it's small for Kristen Hanna, but this takes place in the Pacific Northwest where I live, and a little girl who's like 9 or 10 comes wandering out of the woods, and she doesn't have any memory. She doesn't remember why she was in there, what happened to her, and the main character is a pediatrician, and so she takes care of her, wants to figure out what's going on. Kristen Hanna always tries to make you cry. That's like her aesthetic. Ouch. But, you know, it won't make me cry, but that's what I put for it because that's what she's trying to do. Okay, and then number 6 is Great Library. TBR Vet. Read a TBR Vet. So this one I just kind of looked, and this one's been sitting on here since July of last year. So since it's been here for a year, I consider it a TBR Vet. And the only reason I know that is because it was a Book of the Month selection. And that's The Summer Wives by Beatrice Williams. They put another one of hers, I think it was in December or November, as a pick. And I picked this one because it sounded really interesting. And it's a summary historical fiction. So it takes place partly in, what, 1950, oh, yeah, 1951, and then in 1969. So it's, I love the 50s and the 60s. It's some of my favorite time periods to read from. If you have any good suggestions of 50s books taking place in the 50s and 60s that really center around like family drama-ish stuff, please let me know because I really enjoy books like those, and they're hard to find. And so that's what appealed me to this. It takes place, I think, on Martha's Vineyard. I think somewhere like that, East Coast beachy area. People becoming friends and kind of falling out of it. Something to that degree I don't really remember because I've had it for a year. But it's historical fiction, and I love historical fiction in the summertime. So this is definitely TBR Vet, been on my TBR for more than a year. So that's why that fits the prompt, which is self-explanatory, and I don't know why I just repeated myself. I need to learn how to booktube. Okay, so this number, what is it? Number 8 is Drowning Deep. Good world building. A book with good world building. Now, I'm going to hold this book up, but when I ordered this, because I ordered it secondhand off of Amazon, I didn't realize it didn't come with a dust jacket because I wanted a hardcover, and that really pisses me off. And it said that the condition was very good to excellent. Well, no, I call bullshit because doesn't have a dust jacket. But I'll insert a picture over it, and that's Prince of Thorns by Mark Lawrence, or Yeah, Prince of Thorns. So I'll put a picture right here and I'll set the book down because this is really not fun to look at. But Prince of Thorns is a trilogy. It's book one in a trilogy that Mark Lawrence wrote before the Book of the Ancestor trilogy. And we all know how much I loved those books. So this is follows a male character. I guess same thing. It's a grim, dark fantasy. Really, really dark, gory, stuff like that. I'm down. Like, so I got book one. I guess I should have went with the paperbacks. But they didn't have the paperbacks, though. All the paperbacks they had was mass market. And if I prefer paperbacks like this, like Bloody Rose, where it's bigger. Like, I have no problem reading paperbacks like this. But if I won't get a mass market unless I absolutely have to. But it's book one in that. And it definitely will have good world building because Mark Lawrence is a pro at that. Okay, and the next book is Apothecary Towers. Read a random book off your TBR. And I realized when I checked to see if my camera didn't shut off, it changed the angle, sorry. So, a random book. I've been talking about this nonstop. I want to read it. So, Huntress by Kate Quinn. This may be a definite one I pick up only because I'm also in the middle of another book right now, and I don't know if I'm going to finish it before the end of June. So that one, if I do, I may not be able to count it unless I can fit it into one of the other prompts. But this one will be my random pick, which it'll probably happen, I'm hoping, if I don't lose momentum, which I tend to do. Number 10, Dwarf Mount, A Hint of Romance. So, a book with a hint of romance, Wicked Saints by Emily A. Duncan. I know there's romance in here from what I understand. It's small and minimal and doesn't take over the story. And I want to read it, so it counts. So, number 11, second to last, Queendom Stone, a book with royalty in it. Four Dead Queens by Ashford Schultz. I've had this on my TBR for a while now. I bought it first. Yeah, I bought it myself. It sounded really interesting. I love the cover. So, and it... Four Dead Queens, so it obviously has royalty in it. I had a hard time. I don't think I have any other books on my shelves that actually have fucking royalty in it. So, this be it. And the last prompt, number 12, is Crimson Peaks, reread a favorite. And I'm hoping to do this. I mean, and since I'm not allowed to double up, I can't use a Sookie Stackhouse book. And that's, I mean, the first book isn't my favorite in the series anyway, so it doesn't count. And I'm really hoping to read this because I really want to reread it. And anybody want to guess what it is? Because I talk about it constantly. The Savior's Champion by Jenna Maressi. One of my favorite books of all time. Favorite book of last year. Hopefully I can get a chance to reread this. I want to reread this at some point anyways. She's almost done writing The Savior Sister. She's writing the climax right now, so she doesn't have much left to go. And then it'll go into edits and beta readers and all that fun stuff. So we're trucking along. But yeah, if I get a chance, I'll reread The Savior's Champion. Okay, guys, that is it. That is my July TBR. It's very ambitious. We all know bitch ain't gonna get to all these because I'm not that good. I mean, ideally, it would be nice to knock a whole bunch of these off because then I could just go buy more books because that's a lot of, what the hell, hair? That's a lot of books off my TBR, but we all know it ain't gonna happen. We all know, like, I have the capacity to read 15 books in the month because of my schedule. I have plenty of free time during the day where I can read, but do I? No. I mean, I usually read every day, but I could easily sit and read a full book, but I don't. My attention span, my back hurts, my neck hurts, something hurts. I've got a kid up my ass. My kids are home now for school. School's out. Something on TV catches my eye. So You Think You Can Dance has started. A new season of Ink Master has started. There's things. And you know, sometimes I get bored and I don't want to read and I'd rather watch TV and I'm not going to force myself to. So obviously I'm not going to get through all these. But I'm hoping to not, I'm definitely, like, it is my goal and I'm going to make this fucking happen. I will knock these out. I will, and Into the Drowning Deep. I will read at least these 5. They are not that big. It is 100% fucking doable. So I'm going to do it. Like, I want to get these read, get them off my TBR. Well, these weren't even on my TBR. Just the first 3. Like, these I bought for the readathon, so I better fucking read these. Because if I spent money to read these for a readathon, they need to get read. But I want to at least get these read and at least complete the mage prompts and get those done. And hopefully knock out some other ones so fucking Team Mage can win this bitch. Okay, that's enough rambling. But that is it, and I'm going to go. I am going to pre-film my wrap up for June, which is not really pre-filming because we're almost to the end of June, but I'm going to pre-film another video that you'll see. It's not a haul, but it's a discussion of a certain type of book that I have on my shelves and like kind of going over them. It's not super exciting, but I'm kind of looking forward to it. It's just, I've seen a couple other booktubers, like 1 or 2 do it. So I think Chelsea and Gabby have both done it. So I figured, why not? And because my books are a little different than theirs, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, please comment down below if you have read any of these books, like outside of my Mage TBR. Are there any in here that I should prioritize that you guys have read? Are there any that it's kind of like, maybe you shouldn't read that? That's probably not a good choice. Please let me know. I'm really curious. If any of you are joining us and reading Pillars of the Earth in July, please do. Like, I mean, if you haven't read it, I hear it's super fantastic and it's fun to read with other people. I don't know if Vicky's I think she's setting up a Goodreads group so we can all talk there. So please join us in that if you can. Thanks, guys. Please like and subscribe, all the good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.